Good morning, and welcome to Meditation for Wisdom in Democracy. And this morning, it's Friday. We've made it a whole 5 days through this path. We have several more weeks until we get to the decision point, and we'll probably need to continue beyond because I have a feeling that we may be facing some difficult times at the very start of November. There's been a lot of news and things that come to the surface about possible lying, cheating, and stealing being planned around our democratic process. But here we are this morning, and I was asking myself this morning, like, why am I doing this? Especially as I was getting up a little earlier than usual. It's not a big deal. And what moved me to this, and the words that popped into my mind out of nowhere were, in order to form a more perfect union. And I think those are beautiful words. That's our intention, is to form a more perfect union. And it made me want to read just the preamble to the Constitution. It may seem like a step away from mindful practice to dive into this in this way, but I think it's really important for us to hold in our awareness the intention that really is behind our right to participate in democracy. So it says, we, the people of the United States, that's us, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense. I guess that's necessary. Not a big fan of all of that spending. Promote the general welfare, the well-being of all participating in this life here together. And maybe, it doesn't say just the welfare of us, it says the general welfare. And we have a big impact as a nation because of our power and because of our history. We have a big impact on the welfare of all, the world, including creatures, nature. We have so much impact, and general welfare, and to secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and to our posterity. To secure them, not to hope for them, not to wish, to secure them. Do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. So that's where we started, and that's where we're still at, holding this intention of a constitutional union of peoples, diverse peoples. Now, the time this was written, it was really just written for a certain class of peoples. Now, the intention has gotten clearer and clearer and clearer. It's written for everyone. It's written for all races, all religions, all mindsets. And as we work with our mindful practice in order to support ourselves and anyone else who might be affected in this intention of a more perfect union, where people have liberty, where the general welfare is cared for. That's what we're doing here. And I know that many of you who are here are actually out there working hard in your own sphere or just in your own life. Don't forget that, taking care of yourself and taking care of those close to you is a big part of all of this. We all are here to experience a more perfect union, a safer community. And as we sit with that, just before we get into the meditation, as we sit with that, can we feel that intention? Can we feel the importance of it? Like, this is really important. Many people will be affected by the directions we choose for a long time, not just for a week or a day, but for a long time. We all know that little periods of time or choices we make have an impact that can really ring out for decades in our lives. And that's probably where we're at, a juncture or a crossroads. And I will actually say it, that mindful practice is partly stabilizing ourselves enough that we know how best to respond to the influence of a toxic narcissist. And I don't say those words lightly, and I don't even say them with blame. Nobody wakes up and decides to do that. That is something that evolves in a person's life. And we can stand back and look at all of this with mercy for the human condition, that we're that vulnerable, that number one, that individuals can be so lost and so separate from their humanity that they would end up with that kind of personality and that kind of thought process, that kind of intention for others and themselves. It's what we call narcissism. If you want to read about it, there's all kinds of great books. As a country, we're probably going to be deprogramming from this for a long time because it has a huge impact on people's minds and their ability to deal with their own emotions, their ability to deal with each other. This has had a negative impact on our more perfect union. It's become a less perfect union. It's factly, you could say, in some ways and in some places, it's really starting to unravel. So here we are to do our part to pull it back together by pulling ourselves together and our little group here together, coming together to experience a more perfect union this morning, this Friday morning, with each other, holding all of these concerns in our heart and in meditation. And, it's hard to know what that does. We don't know how these things get influenced. We do know that human consciousness is a form of union. And I've heard it said that, if one person really finds peace within themselves, it influences many, many people just in the course of life. So here we are, and all we have to work with is ourself, our own mind, our own body, our own heart. And for this little period of time, that's enough. So let everything else fall to the side. You don't have to work on anything when you're in this place. This is more about being and finding stability and some security in your own being with a clear intention of love for self and others. So today, I'm going to help us in this meditation just get grounded in the body and the breath. And from there, we'll return to where we started this week with a simple intention to be guided through this process that we're in by wisdom and love. And just kind of take a moment before we get started just to hold those words in your mind and ask yourself, what do those mean to me? What does wisdom and love mean to me? You can't have a love that's unwise without doing harm to yourself. And you can't have wisdom that's unloving without doing harm to yourself. So they come together in you and me. And just take a moment just to let those words resonate within your own being. wisdom, and love. Just kind of getting ready here. So coming to this moment with just an open awareness as best you can, opening up to, if you can hold the words only this, me, my body, and my breath. This meditation is intended to settle and ground you into a connection with yourself that's in the present moment. No matter what is happening, this is really all we have as a starting point, is right now, always. We can begin to notice this in all of our senses, but we're going to keep it simple this morning by just focusing on the sensations of the feet touching the floor, or if you're laying down, your body contacting where you're laying, and the sensations of your body where you're sitting, what your contact is there, and noticing a sense of the ground beneath you. And opening up to the awareness of the body as a whole, and bringing your awareness to specific parts of your body, like it's almost like turning a flashlight to a certain point in a room, just highlighting that, starting with your feet, noticing all the sensations that you're receiving from your feet right now. And even if you're registering a blank, like I don't even feel my feet, just register that. So this is not work. This is receiving. Whatever you get, noticing the surface of the skin of the feet, where your feet touch the floor. You may even have a sense of the inside of your feet. And then adding the ankles and the calves and shins. All the sensations on the surface of skin and from within. And adding the knees. And the thighs, the top of the thighs, the bottom of the thighs. And then adding the hips and the pelvis, your waist, so that now everything below your waist is in the spotlight of your awareness. Again, just taking it in. This is your body. And then adding the lower abdomen and the lower back. Adding the chest, the center of the chest, and the upper back. And as your awareness expands to take in the shoulders and the arms and the hands, the wrists, and all the way down to the tips of your fingers. So now your awareness is opening up to everything that's coming to you from your body below your neck, all of it. Just taking it in. Some parts may be really strong, some parts may be in the background, and they might kind of dance around a little bit in your awareness. Just seeing if it's possible for you to not strain, just receive the sensations that you're given just as they are. And if you find yourself trying, you'll probably feel that somewhere in your body and just notice that. Receive that. And lastly, expanding awareness into the neck and the head and the face, adding all of that, the throat, the sides and back of the neck, the base of your skull in the back, your jawline, your mouth. So much sensation there in the mouth, the cheeks, ears, the eyes and the orbits of the eyes, the brow, temple, and the scalp, all the way over even the very top of the head. So now you've expanded your awareness to take in the whole body just as it is. And as you sit with that, becoming aware, it's impossible not to notice. It's so easy to notice that the breath is always happening, even when we're not paying attention. But now, really opening up to the sensations of breathing. They occur especially in the belly, the chest, the nose or mouth. And see if you notice that in a way the breath going in and out reverberates through the whole body. And seeing if it's possible for your awareness to take in the whole body and the breath as one complete union of your human nature right here in this moment. And during this period, your mind may become active or distracted or yucky or talkative. If that occurs, seeing if it's possible to let the thoughts of the mind, its plans, schemes, worries, and preoccupations, just let them be there, but let them be in the background. Like something happening outside that you don't need to pay attention to. While you're here, noticing your body and your breath, Distractions may come and go because the mind is a thing that is busy. And if that happens, don't give yourself a hard time. Just gently return to the body and breath after noting where your mind took you. Oh, there it went. There I went. Now let me come back. Over and over if needed. And now, if you wish, you can drop words into your being like it's like dropping a pebble into a well, seeing what sound it makes. Be curious and interested in how it will resonate. And the words I suggest would just be a phrase. On the in-breath, may we be led. On the out-breath, by wisdom. On the in-breath, may we be led by love. On the in-breath, may we be led to justice and peace. May we be led by wisdom. May we be led by love. May we find justice and peace. So opening up to the way your heart, your body responds. And it may bring feelings or thoughts. That's okay. Just let all that happen. But not trying to do anything, just dropping the words into your consciousness. May we be led by wisdom. May we be led by love. May we find justice and peace. And then for a period of silence, just working on that on your own. Knowing that if it gets too complicated or if you lose your way, you can always return just to your body and breath. And then letting go of the words and tuning into body and breath, noticing the lingering effect that may be there. As we end this meditation, knowing that you carry that with you throughout your day for your own wise, loving path to justice and peace. So thank you for sharing. It may be important for us to remember that those words of the preamble were not written by people in a time of peace. It was written in a time of strife and struggle. There were loyalists to the crown, which was that day's version of toxic narcissism, kind of something that had been established for centuries and centuries, even ordained as divine. So this thing that we're holding, that we cherish, came through all of that. And those people found a wise, loving path for the most part. They could have done better, but they didn't produce liberty for everyone instantly. We've been working at this for more than 2 centuries. We're still in it. So I don't know exactly what I'm saying, except that we still find ourselves where they were. And maybe that's hopeful because to a large degree, the truth of those words and that intention has prevailed. Not completely yet. And it won't be complete until it's for everyone, especially those who have been oppressed, people of color, people who are diverse in any way from the norm, in their sexuality or in their beliefs, even in their appearance. We have a long way to go to actually become a human family. But I'm glad you were here, and it was helpful to me to know that I'm not alone. We're not alone. We can connect. And hopefully this supports every good thing that's going to happen today. So I'll see you Monday, and I'll look forward to it. Bye.